With the arrival of winter, it's the start of all the hunting season, and today I've joined the Palmer Milburn pack of beagles for a day's beagling. Two of the joint masters are Roger Palmer and Peter Alder. First of all, Roger, what is beagling?
Beagling is really the art of hunting hares with a pack of small hounds. The aim being to see if the hounds can outwit the hare's guiles as she travels across the countryside, and to provide the followers who are following you on foot with a really good, enjoyable day's sport. Beagling is one of the oldest of the field sports in the countryside, probably with falconry and fishing. It's the oldest pastime of all our forefathers. You can actually find records going back way into the past. You can find the ancient Greeks writing about it. There are some well-documented evidence about beagling in Great Britain at the times of the Romans. Really and truly, it can be said that of all the modern field sports that you now see, it is by far the most ancient. Queen Elizabeth I apparently used to spend some of her most enjoyable days out with her own beagles. Most people would tend to assume that fox hunting is probably one of the older sports. It's little known, in fact, that fox hunting probably only originated back in the 18th century, whereas beagling, and in fact hare hunting of all kinds, whether on horseback or on foot, started much earlier than that, as I've just explained.
So what is the beagle?
Beagle is best described as a miniature foxhound, even though, as I say, it predates the foxhound. Originally they were somewhat larger because hares were hunted by people both on foot and on horseback, and then about a couple of hundred years ago they began to diverge, and the true beaglers started following hares on foot, and the mounted people started following them using harriers. Now, what a lot of people don't know is where the name beagle came from, and it's an old Celtic name, beag, which meant small. And funny enough, actually, the word still has a derivation in the modern Welsh language. There's a word called bach, B-A-C-H, meaning small, which can be found there. So that's really how the name beagling came about.
How many couple have you got out today?
We've got 17 and a half couple out today.
So do they work as a team?
Oh yes, they work as a team, as a pack. They're all individuals. We have old ones and young ones, and they're a pack of individuals, and each one has got his own part to play. They're rather like a football team or any other team. We rely on some for doing one part of the day's hunting and others for doing another part. They've all got different characteristics, and we all gel together to form a team, a pack, to hunt the hare.
What about colours in them?
Well, the colours you see, they're mostly tricolour beagles, brown, white and black. Mainly that's the typical colour of a beagle, although they do vary. We've got some mottled hounds. We've got a dark hound down there. This particular hound here is what we call a blue mottled hound, and there are one or two others. If you look over the other side over there, we've got some lemon hounds and white hounds.
What age do they work on to then?
Most beagles will do, with a good constitution, will probably do 7-8 seasons, and they're 1 year old when they're entered into the pack. They're entered into the pack when all their bone structure and their muscles are developed, and then they start hunting.
Now, it is very old sport, and there's a lot of tradition to go with it.
Yes.
The way you're dressed for a start.
Well, the way we're dressed. Starting from the bottom, we wear rugger boots or hockey boots. They're comfortable to run in. Stockings, so that we don't have any trousers flapping around, or we wear white breeches. The white breeches really out of smartness more than anything. They're comfortable to run in, and the hounds can identify us amongst the rest of the field. We wear our green coats. We have nice shiny buttons, which we have to keep clean, with the Palmer Milburn crest on them. We wear a white hunting tie, which we call a stock, which keeps us nice and warm in the winter, and we wear a brown velvet cap, which is a riding cap, but years ago all hunting caps were soft velvet, and it's only in the last 50 or 60 years that actually hunting caps were firmed up for people to ride in. We use the firm ones now because to get a velvet cap made is quite expensive, but we use the riding hat, a brown velvet cap, and we carry a whip. The whippers in, the hunt staff all carry whips.
What do you use the whips for?
Well, we use them basically to control the hounds. We don't hit the hounds with them. We crack the whip, and we use use terms such as bike, which means go back, which the whippers in will use when they want the hounds to go back to the huntsman.
Roger, it's in fact the coats you wear are green. Is there any reason for that?
That's really because the original hare hunters, if you look back in the ancient prints of old, you'll see people, whether they were beaglers on foot or hare hunters on horseback, they all wore green coats. Partly that's because if you go way back, the livery of the big landowners was often green, and so his people that worked for him, his family retainers would wear green coats. That, for example, is why 1 or 2 packs of foxhounds actually wear green coats today too, people like the Beaufort hounds. But it's been a tradition and it's been retained. It does mean that when you come out on the hunting field, you can tell who are the hunt officials, because they're the ones who have got the green coats on.
Peter, how many packs of beagles are there in the country?
I think at the moment there are 80. There might be 82. There are new packs being formed, possibly 1 or 2 a season, but I think you'll find there are about 80 packs.
And they cover all the country?
They cover all the country throughout the British Isles, yes.
So how do you arrive at the name Palmer Milburn?
That's because when we first started this pack, a young friend of mine called Dickie Milburn and I, we'd left university and school respectively. We decided that we'd like to start a pack of beagles. We looked around. As Peter says, there's a number of beagles. In fact, there are packs in virtually every county in England. And it's very hard to find somewhere left where there isn't already beagling. We found the area that we now call our hunt country, which is situated in the middle of the south of England, and we have registered that with the Masters of Harriers and Beagles, which is the association with which all packs have to be registered, and you have to abide by their rules and regulations, by the Code of Hunting. And when we decided what to call it, we thought that it would be much the best to call it after the pair of us, because that way the farmers, when you ring them up and get their permission to go across the land, they'd actually know who we were and what we were up to.